Guys are so hard on themselves. They're so obsessed with their size. I get asked that all the time. Will you look at it and rate it? I'm like, no,
really?
I won't.
Oh my God.
I know girls that charge.
Going back to the broke dick, since the majority of my listeners are guys, especially in the podcast space, does size matter?
No, size doesn't matter. It's totally how you work it. I mean, obviously, I think there's too big and there's too small. Like a micro penis I would want to gift them a strap on kind of thing, which wouldn't that be horrible? A man with a penis wearing a strap on. I don't know.
I couldn't even think about that. My God.
That was mean, but there's things you can do. There's things that can help a micro penis out. I know they exist somewhere. It's 2023. They have to. And then there's too big where girls are like, that's painful and that's intimidating and that's going to destroy me. Not in a good way. Like, I don't even want that to come near me. So I think there's both, but there's, guys are so hard on themselves. They're so obsessed with their size. I get asked that all the time. Will you look at it and rate it? I'm like, no,
really?
I won't.
Oh my God.
I know girls that charge money to do those, but my husband doesn't really want me participating in that. What?
A dick evaluation?
Dick ratings.
Oh my God. I did not know that existed.
They'll pay you money to do dick ratings.
And they'll send pictures of their dick. And
I get unsolicited ones all the time. I got an unsolicited dick picture, which is so weird because you're like, what if, they would love it if they got an unsolicited pic. But I was like, no, let's just don't. And they stopped. Once I screenshot one and put it on my story, it stopped.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You want to hear something funny? Yeah. When I got divorced, I had a lot of female friends in the corporate space. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go date. Give me some tips. Don't send pics. I'm like, what the is that? A what? Like a dick? Guys take pictures of their dicks and send. Why? Like, does that work?
Why?
It freaked me out. I didn't know that existed before 2016. So I remember like, wow. But apparently, as I knew other women and talked to them, became friends with a lot of them, there's a small percentage that do like that. Them. And that's why, guys, if it works, a video. You prefer a video instead of a picture?
A video. Yeah. Because then that's like cool. Like mutual masturbation. Like it's cool to see what he's doing, but a pic, like no.
How do I know it's yours or whatever, right? I remember this one girl, I've never sent one and I never will. This one girl asked me, can you send me one? I'm like, sure. I just Googled black cocks and I send her a black cock. Just to mess with her.
Because all we'll do is show everybody. That is really what girls do. They get them to send the group text, if you want me to be completely honest.
Oh, I'm sure. So just like guys, girls, when you women send booty pics, we share them like Pokemon cards over here in the guy space. Like, hey, I'm going to do her tonight. What would you rate her?
It goes both ways. It goes both ways.
It does. So, I believe your point with size. It doesn't matter. And I think for guys, we see, again, we learn majority of young men don't have that conversation with their parents, or there's no sex ed in school anymore. So we learn about sex through pornography. Who do we see? Like I'm saying John Holmes, I'm aging myself, but we see these guys that are all huge, right? Dirk Diggler. Yeah. And we think that's what women want, because the women in the video is like, well, the movie's not lying to me. Look at her. That's what they crave. And that's how we learn. I hate that porn's a teacher. It's because it's such a bad teacher with horrible expectations. And if they really saw how that porn was made, everybody should go watch a porn documentary, and then your eyes will be opened to how some of the times they're not having fun. The girl starts her period, or the girl's like already fucked 6 guys before that shoot and she's down and out, or they have to stop because he came and they have to start over and he needs a Viagra. It's just not as glamorous as it looks. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As a young man, though, you're just too consumed. I mean, my God, when I was younger, we had the scrambled channels and maybe a Playboy. But if I was a young kid nowadays, I would be fucked, because it's all right there. And I can only imagine a young man I hear there's a lot of young men who now have ED because they've been jerking off to porn since they were like 14. And now they're in their 20s. They have a woman in front of them and they can't get hard. And there's ways, like with psychology and practicing simulating sex
like by instead of watching porn with your lotion in front or lube, whatever, in front of your computer screen in your world, you're simulating sex in that way, to like go on your bed and practice masturbating without porn. It could be very beneficial, but people really do. It rewires their brain for sure.
Yeah. That totally makes sense. And it can take some time. And you know, what's not talked about is the other side. Again, when I became single, I was more or less like a man whore. I just wanted to have fun because I've only had one woman my entire life.
Yeah.
And I remember dating this one woman and I couldn't get her to orgasm. I had this rule, like, I'm going to give you 3 to my 1. That's just my the good efforts. The good juju that I'm putting out to the world.
Selflessness. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I remember this one woman, I couldn't get her to orgasm. I'm like, is it me? What, you want me to touch you a different way? What?
Probably wasn't you.
She told me and we fixed it. She had not had sex for a year and a half and she was using her vibrator every day.
Oh yeah, don't do that, girl.
So her clitoris was only used to that motion, and I can't go like 40 RPMs.
You can't be a vibrator.
You can't. So we had to tell her no more. And it took about a couple of weeks, but after a while of not using it and just me, we finally got her there, and we broke up.
You have to wean off of it. You have to like withdraw from your vibrator.
Yeah, and again, that's not talked about enough. There's men with porn, and there's women with all these sci-fi vibrators with you know. USB ports and all these type of different motions and lights and everything.
And girls will not know that it can get better. And so they'll take their vibrator in the bedroom with them so that they can orgasm with their husband, and they're not getting better. So it's best to like wean off of it for sure.